Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with yet another VBX Familia Speaks video where you guys choose a topic of my video and we are counting down the days till Christmas. I have my little snowflake headbands on, even though I feel like you can't really see it because it just kind of blends in with the background. But anyway, I did this, smoky holiday look, which I will be uploading the tutorial for after this video. So the topic for this video, in which I had requested to me, was whether or not people can claim that they are Caribbean if they don't really know much about the culture and stuff like that. And this is also in response to an Instagram post that was made about this same subject. It is from a page that I also happen to follow called West Indie Made, and here is a little screenshot of that post. So under that post, of course, there were lots of different people of Caribbean descent that gave their opinions on the matter, and here are some of their responses. Now, the person that's requested this video is Black, but they found out that they have West Indian and Latin Caribbean ancestry, and they were raised by adoptee African American parents. So their question was, can I claim this Caribbean part of my ancestry? And this person actually is not the first person to reach out to me and either email me and or DM me and be like, hey, I'm Black or whatever they are, but I know that I have this Dominican or Cuban or Puerto Rican, whatever it is, this Latin or Caribbean ancestry, but can I claim it? And one of them, I can't remember which one, but one of them said something to the effect of they don't want to seem like the typical or stereotypical Black person trying to claim that there's something else besides just American, like Black American. So, from that perspective, I get it, but I am more of the thought that if you have this other ancestry, who is to say that you can't claim it? Like, I just don't understand how some people like to police other people's cultural backgrounds, or they feel like if you're Black, especially, you can't claim your other ethnicities that you may have. Like, I feel like if you are a Black person, like a racially Black person, and even if you were raised here in the US, or most of your family background is African American, but you know that you have roots in the Caribbean, whether it's one of like the Spanish Caribbean, one of the Anglophone Caribbean, Francophone Caribbean, whatever it is, like if this, I mean, it's part of your ancestry, like why would you not be able to claim that? Now, the other part of that question though is if you don't know a whole lot about the culture or say the language, if it's one of like the Spanish speaking Caribbean countries, like can you still claim it? So this reminds me a lot of the argument when it comes to like Latinos here in the US, especially those that say can't speak Spanish or they don't know a whole lot about the culture. So some may feel like they're not real Latinos or whatever. So I guess the same could be said for the rest of the non-Spanish Caribbean as well. So I feel like there's two sides to it. I feel like there is the genetic component. There's the like actually being a descendant of these countries, which I feel like nobody can take that away from you. Like if you want to claim that, who's to say you can't, But there's also the cultural aspect of it. I feel like if you are going to claim these other countries, then, you know, it would only benefit you. And I feel like it would be good to actually take the time, if you don't already know, to learn more about the cultures of these countries, to learn a little bit of the language if it's a non, you know, English language, and to learn a little bit about the history as well, because I do feel like when you claim another country or whatever, there should be kind of like a balance there. Like, I feel like me being a Dominican American, like if I didn't know a whole lot about DR, I didn't know a lot about the culture, I didn't know how to speak Spanish, I didn't know anything about the history, the music, the food, the dance, I probably wouldn't be as inclined to claim that part of me. But since, you know, that is the culture that I was raised in, I feel like, you know, why wouldn't I claim that? As much as somebody may try to say, well, your parents are Dominican, you're not, you're American. I'm like, yes, I am Dominican or American, but I'm also Dominican. Who are you to tell me that I can't claim my Dominican side, you know? So, the short answer for me to that question is, if you have Caribbean ancestry, regardless of what it is, even if you're direct, like your parents aren't like directly from those countries, but say maybe a grandparent or whatever it is, I feel like why can't you claim that, you know? And like, I don't think that just because you claim that, that means that you're now not claiming your, or being American, or if like your Black American side of you, you know, if that's what you're mixed with, like, I feel like you can claim all of it, you know, claim your Black American ancestry, claim your Caribbean ancestry, you know. So I guess at the end of the day, it comes down to you on an individual basis, because at the end of the day, there are some you know, Americans, you know, or that are of Latin descent or Caribbean descent, that they don't really claim it. You know, they don't have much of a cultural tie to, you know, these cultures or these countries apart from their parents being from there. So in cases like that, you know, they might not really claim it. They might just claim to be American, and that's okay. You know, that's entirely their right. And, you know, I feel like at the end of the day, it's up to you as an individual what you want to claim. But I just don't feel like, if you're going to claim it, you know, don't worry about what other people want to say. Like, you have the right to claim whatever you want to claim. And, you know, this is just like under my video about, you know, Latinos that can't speak Spanish. You know, I had somebody saying that if you can't speak Spanish, you can't claim to be Latino. Being Latino is entirely about speaking Spanish, or the language that you speak. Which I was like, okay, well, by that logic, then anyone that learns to speak Spanish or French or Portuguese can claim that they're Latino now. Like, I mean, speaking the language is part of being Latino. Well, that's not the only, like, prerequisite to being Latino. Like, there's also that genetic, like, heritage component, you know? Anyway, I feel like it comes the same when trying to identify with Caribbean culture, regardless of what it is. Yes, there is that language component, and yes, there is that side of having the knowledge of the culture and of the history and of the language, but there's also the side that these are the people that you descend from. So nobody can take that from you. So that was my thoughts on this subject. So to those of you out there, and, you know, to those of you that have already reached out to me, you know, regarding this subject, if you know that you have recent ancestry from one of these countries, I see no problem whatsoever in claiming it. It's part of who you are. But I will say, if you do choose to claim it, then you know, go ahead and try to learn a little bit more about the culture. Try to learn a little bit more about the history, because I feel like if you're going to claim something, you should do your due diligence and, you know, try to learn what these people are about, what this culture is about, because at the end of the day, it is a part of you. So with that being said, that is my thoughts on this subject. Let me know you all's thoughts and opinions down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.